Our next storyteller is Joel Dawson. All right, Joel. All right.
The one thing you have to do when you come to New Orleans is you have to be prepared to pay for parking. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg. But does anybody know what happens if you don't? I'm going to tell you what happened to me about 14 years ago. A friend of mine, we were coming to New Orleans for a concert. We're not from here, from Houma. Come here for a concert, and we're looking for a place to park. On the right-hand side, there's public parking. But she sees a spot on this side. We're going to park right there. Now, there's not a sign that says no parking. It's painted on the side of the building. No parking. Her name was Sherry. Sherry had just bought her a brand new car, and she was gorgeous. Her, not the car. I mean, she had the long, beautiful hair, the nice figure. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So her new car, she parks right here where it says no parking. The car is white. So is Sherry. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. So anyway, there's a possibility that we can be late to the concert because we left late. So we get there, we're late. Okay, not a big deal. We're there, it's still early, so she says, why don't we just make a night of it? I said, okay, fine. So we have to go back to her car to get her purse because she locked it in the trunk. So we're walking, and we're on Decatur. Decatur runs this way, St. Peter's is this way. So we're just kind of walking along and walking along and walking along. And all of a sudden, I hear this blood-wrenching, horrific scream. Now, let me tell you something. I spent 6 years in the Marine Corps. I don't care how tough you think you are. I don't care how macho you think you are. White women have a way of screaming that will make you pee in your pants. So she screams, and she just takes off running. And I don't know what's going on, so I'm looking around. I don't know where she's running from. And the funny thing is, I always wondered, what it would be like to watch Sherry run, because I'm thinking, I'm thinking like Baywatch, No, it wasn't like that. She was booking it, Jack. She was getting it. So she's running, and I'm just kind of running behind her because I don't know where she's running from. And then all of a sudden, I see it. I see her brand new car on top of a tow truck, and the tow truck is about to leave. So she's just running and screaming, and when I see that, I take off running because we got to catch that car or we're going to be stranded. Now, if you remember, I said that Sherry was white. So here's the scenario. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. So she takes off running. Now you got this white woman running in the city of New Orleans, and you got a black man chasing her. So she runs, and she cuts across the traffic, and it was jammed up for some reason. She cuts across, and I'm following her. So I get across the first lane, and as I'm crossing the second lane, the guy decides that he's going to be a great Samaritan and save the world. He takes his foot off of the brake, puts it on the accelerator, and he hits me. So I'm on the ground, and my leg is killing me, and my shoulder is hurt. But I got to get up and catch that car because we're going to be stranded. And this guy is starting to get out of his car. So now she's chasing the tow truck. I'm chasing her, but I'm also running from him. Because I don't know what he's going to do. And if you would have saw the size of this guy, trust me, I was not in any shape to play WWF with this guy. So anyway, she catches the tow truck. She finally catches him, which was good, but I'm still running from this guy. So she's talking to the guy, pleading to get the car down. So I come running up, and I kind of hide behind her like this because, I don't know what this maniac's got on his mind. And so she looks at me, and he looks, and it's like, well, maybe they're together, but he's not sure. So he wants to find out. So I'm like holding on to her for dear life like this, and she finally looks over, she's like, what's the matter with you? I said, well, this guy hit me with a car. So she's like, who are you? What's the matter with you, you maniac? So she stops arguing with this guy, starts arguing with this guy. And he was like, well, yeah, lady, you run in front of my car screaming. I saw the black dude chasing you, so I figured I'd help you out. She was like, he's with me. So he was like, so they arguing stuff, and all of a sudden he did the wrong thing. He said, you know what? Well, fuck you. And I had been bending down like this because my leg was hurting. And she went to swing at him. And right as she swung, I stood up. So now I'm back on the ground. So he says, I'm out of here. The tow truck driver says, look, either you give me $200 right now or you pay Jake $500 in the morning. So I said, wait a minute. There was an ATM right across the street. So I go over there, get the money. I come back, give it to the tow truck guy, gets the car down, and we go home. Next morning I wake up, my knee swollen, my arm is bruised, and my eyes shut. I look in the mirror, and the only thing I can think about was remember, I know guys always do this when you're playing around, and I remember the words that my mom always said. It's always fun until somebody loses an eye. Thank you.